Today our lecture name is electrochemical cell. So this is part 9 lecture of electrochemistry. So first consider this reaction. First we have to know what is the electrochemical cell and what type of reaction occurs in the electrochemical cell. So first consider this reaction here. Here you can see it is An plus, it is Bn plus and A. So these two reactant converts to these two products. Now here you can see the An plus, the oxygen number of An plus decreases. So this is a reduction process. But if you consider B to Bn plus, here the oxygen number of B increases. So this is an oxidation process. Such type of reaction is called redox reaction, where one species is reduced and another species is oxidized. So if you consider this reaction, if it is a spontaneous reaction, then the Gibbs free energy change of this reaction is negative. So this Gibbs free energy change converts to electrical energy. Okay, so here chemical energy converts to electrical energy. So that is the most important term. Chemical energy converts to electrical energy. So if the reaction is spontaneous and if the delta G is negative, then always remember the free energy change, that is Gibbs free energy change, converts to electrical energy, and so here chemical energy converts to electrical energy. Now consider the opposite reaction. A plus Bn plus converts to B plus An plus. So here you can see, in this case, B, the oxygen number decreases. So this is a reduction process, but this is an oxidation process. So opposite reaction of that reaction. So now if this reaction is spontaneous, then you can say that this reaction is not spontaneous. So opposite reaction is non-spontaneous, and so Gibbs free change is positive. So in that case, you have to supply energy as electrical energy. So in this case, you can see it is written here. In this case, electrical energy is passed to cause chemical reaction. So actually, this reaction is non-spontaneous. That means that does not occur. That's why to occur it, you have to supply energy, and here the electrical energy is passed, and it causes a chemical reaction. Therefore, you can see there are two type of reaction, but two type of conversion. In first case, here the chemical energy converts to electrical energy, but here you can see electrical energy converts to chemical energy. So two type of reaction may occur in a cell. Okay, so first chemical energy to electrical energy to chemical energy. That's why the cell are of two types. One is galvanic cell or voltaic cell, where the chemical energy converts to electrical energy in the first case. Galvanic cell or voltaic cell, also called electrochemical cell. Here the chemical energy converts to electrical energy. Another type of cell is called electrolytic cell, where electrical energy converts to chemical energy. Okay, so these are two types of cells. Okay, galvanic cell or voltaic cell, and electrolytic cell. So first you have to know what is the galvanic cell. The device is used to convert energy produced on a redox reaction into electrical energy. So here the energy produced on a redox reaction. So you have to consider redox reaction, and the chemical energy of that redox reaction converts to electrical energy. That is the most important point of galvanic cell, a voltaic cell. The question is why the name is galvanic cell. Actually, this name is coming from that scientist Luigi Galvanic. From that scientist, the name is galvanic cell. Another name is voltaic cell. So this is again from another scientist named Alessandro Volta. So from that name, the name is also voltaic cell. One example of galvanic cell or voltaic cell is Daniell cell. So now you have to know what is the structure of Daniell cell. So first consider the structure of galvanic or voltaic cell. Remember, galvanic cell contains two vessels. Each vessel contains one metal electrode and one electrolyte. So always remember, it contains two vessels, and each vessel contains one metal electrode. There should be one electrode and one electrolyte. As this cell is divided into two halves, that's why each vessel is called one half cell. Okay, so it is divided into two half cell. So two half cell is equal to one cell. One is left half cell, another one is right half cell. So another thing, as I told you, that here there must be a redox reaction. That means one species gets reduced and one species gets oxidized. Okay, so here B oxidized and A reduced. Okay, B oxidation number increases, so oxidized, and A oxidation number decreases, so this is a reduction process. Now you have to know what is the Daniell cell. So as I told you that the cell means it contains two half cell. That's why it consists of two half cell. So here is the image of the Daniell cell. Here you can see this is the one vessel. This is the left vessel, and here you can see this is the another vessel. This is the right vessel. Okay, and here you can see it contains one electrode. This is the zinc electrode, and here you can see this is a solution. It is the zinc sulfate solution. So one electrode and one electrolyte. Okay, that is equal to one half cell. And here you can see this is again one electrolyte. Here is copper sulfate, and the electrode is copper. Okay, and you can see in the bracket the strength of copper sulfate is given. This is the aqueous solution, so strength is 1 molar. This is also aqueous solution, and here also the strength is 1 molar. So this is the anode, and here it is cathode. Okay, and when this anode and this cathode are connected by a wire, you can see the electron flow or current flow. Electron flow occurs from this side to this side, from negative to positive. But always remember, current flow occurs in the opposite direction of the electron flow. So current flow occurs from this side to this side. Okay, from positive to negative. So here you can see it consists of two electrode, two half cell. So this is the left half cell. Left half cell contains one zinc electrode, another one is zinc sulfate electrolyte. Right half cell contains copper electrode and copper sulfate electrolyte. Now we have to see what is the observations of from Daniell cell. So this is the cell. So first observation, you can see here electron flow. I would have told you that electron flow occurs from zinc to copper. From zinc to copper, the electron flow occurs. But current flow occurs from positive direction, from copper to zinc. Okay, from copper to zinc. So this is the second observation. Third observation, the zinc rod. This is the zinc rod. Zinc rod loses its mass, and copper rod gains in the mass. Okay, so gradually the mass of zinc rod decreases, but gradually the mass of copper rod or copper electrode increases. So now we have to explain why that happens. The concentration of zinc 2 plus, here it is not zinc sulfate, here you have to write the zinc 2 plus. The concentration of zinc 2 plus in solution increases, but the concentration of copper 2 plus in that solution decreases. Okay, so copper 2 plus in the solution decreases. But remember, the both vessel remain neutral. That means there is no charge, no extra charge in this vessel or in this vessel. Both these solution are neutral, and this neutral solution is done by this salt bridge. Okay, so this salt bridge. Now you have to know what are the cell reaction in the Daniell cell. So in the cell reaction, as you see, there are two electrodes. One is anode, another one is cathode. Remember, anode means oxidation reaction happens. Okay, so or the definition of anode electrode is that where oxidation takes place is called anode, and where reduction takes place is called cathode. Now you have to see, you have to write what are the anode reaction and what are the cathode reaction. As I told you that in anode oxidation takes place. So here you can see zinc that gets oxidized to Zn2 plus and removes 2 electron. So here the oxidation number of zinc increases from 0 to plus 2. That's why this is an oxidation process. And in cathode, reduction occurs. That's why here you can see copper 2 plus that takes 2 electron and converts to copper. So here the oxidation number of copper decreases from plus 2 to 0. That's why it is called reduction process. So as I told you, always remember at anode oxidation reaction happens and at cathode reduction reaction happens. Now overall reaction, if you add these two reaction, you can see these two electrons will be cut out. So what is the overall reaction? Zn plus copper 2 plus converts to Zn2 plus copper. Okay, so this is the cell reaction. So always remember when you draw a cell, you have to show the what is the anode reaction, you have to show what is the cathode reaction, and you have to show what is the overall reaction. And you have to mention what is the anode, you have to mention what is the cathode, and what are the electrolytes also. Now you have to explain the observation. So as you see, the first two observations are electron flow from zinc to copper and current flow from copper to zinc. So why the electron flows from zinc to copper and why the current flows from copper to zinc, that we have to explain. So as you see, this is our zinc electrode and this is our copper electrode. Already I have told you that at that electrode oxidation takes place. Oxidation means Zn converts to Zn2 plus. So that Zn2 plus will come out from that electrode and goes into the solution. Okay, so the concentration of zinc atom in that electrode decreases. And when the zinc atom loses 2 electron and converts to Zn2 plus, that means it will be electron rich. And if it is electron rich, it gets the negative charge. Now if you consider here, this is the cathode. And as I told you that in cathode, reduction takes place. That means copper 2 plus will go in that electrode. And if it go in this electrode, if it goes into the electrode, then what happens? That it becomes positively charged, okay, due to this plus 2 charge. Okay, so this copper 2 plus goes into the electrode, so it becomes positively charged, and here you can see it gets a positive charge. This is the positively charged electrode, this is a negatively charged electrode. Okay, now if it is the negatively charged, here you can see the amount of electron increases. Now when you connect these two electrode by a wire, this extra electron immediately go through the wire and it will come here. Okay, and here in that electrode copper 2 plus takes the extra electrons and converts to copper atom in that electrode. That means if you see here, it is the positively charged, negatively charged. So always remember the current flows from positive to negative. That's why the current flow from copper to zinc, but electron flow, that means the electron flow from zinc to copper. So this is the explanation of first two observation. Now, next two observation, the zinc electrode loses its mass and copper dot gains in the mass. And next point, the concentration of zinc 2 plus increases, but the concentration of copper 2 plus in solution decreases. Now you have to explain it. As already I told you that zinc Zn converts to Zn2 plus. So here the amount of 2 plus charge in the solution increases. Zn2 plus, the solution increases. So the atom zinc atom from that electrode converts to Zn2 plus. So you can say the zinc dot loses its mass. But here you can see copper 2 plus gets 2 electron and it converts to copper atom. So here the copper electrode gains in the mass. Okay, and the next point, the concentration of Zn2 plus increases. You can see here the zinc goes to goes as Zn2 plus. So here the concentration of Zn2 plus increases. If you see here, here you can see the copper 2 plus goes from the solution to the electrode. So here the concentration of copper 2 plus decreases. So these are the next two observation, and you can explain it this why this is happened here. Now you can see uh, this is a very important question. You can see one can ask you can see the zinc goes as Zn2 plus here. So you can say that the concentration of Zn2 plus increases means here it is not electrically neutral, because here the positive charge increases. But here you can see in the zinc sulfate, there is no change of sulfate ion concentration. So how can you say that this solution is neutral? Similarly, here you can see copper 2 plus from the solution goes to the copper electrode. So here again the sulfate concentration remains constant. So how can you say that this solution again is neutral? That can be answered by considering the role of salt bridge. So as you can see, this is the salt bridge, and in the bracket I have written here, this is KCl. So in the salt bridge, KCl is used. So first you have to know what is the salt bridge. Salt bridge is composed of one inert salt and another high viscous liquid. Okay, the viscosity of the liquid is very high. So here you can see the high viscous liquids is used here is gelatin or agar agar. Now when this inert salt and this high viscous liquid is mixed, they form a gel-like structure, and that's why this gel-like structure cannot easily come out from the salt bridge. The question is why such type of inert salt is used here? Why other type of electrolyte is not used in that salt bridge? Because first point, this type of electrolyte KCl or KNO3 are inert salt, and number two, here the mobility of potassium plus is equal to mobility of the Cl minus, or you can say the mobility of K plus is equal to mobility of NO3 minus. That's why this type of electrolytes are used in that salt bridge. Now we have to know what is the role of salt bridge. As you can see, the Zn atom comes out from that metal electrode as Zn2 plus. So here the concentration of Zn2 plus increases, and the concentration of Zn2 plus becomes higher than the sulfate ion. So here you can say that it becomes positively charged. The solution in the left vessel will become positively charged. Similarly, here you can see the copper 2 plus that takes 2 electron and converts to copper here. Okay, so here the concentration of copper 2 plus increases, so the sulfate ion concentration increases. So you can say that becomes negatively charged. Okay, so that's why here there is a role of salt bridge. If you use KCl, if you use the KCl here, so KCl means KCl, this is the negative part. So as you can say that this becomes positively charged, so Cl minus comes out from the salt bridge, and overall the solution becomes neutral. Similarly, here you can see the copper 2 plus goes into the copper electrode, so sulfate ion concentration increases, so you can say that this becomes negatively charged. So it becomes neutral when potassium plus comes out from the salt bridge. So overall the solution becomes neutral. So what you can say, what is the function of salt bridge? It maintains electrical neutrality, and number two, it prevents liquid-liquid junction potential. Okay, so this is a new term here, liquid-liquid junction potential. The potential difference which arises between the solution when they are in contact with each other. That means there is no salt bridge. If there is no salt bridge, then a liquid junction potential will develop at the junction of two electrodes. But if you use the salt bridge, it prevents the liquid-liquid junction potential. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, my request to my students, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.